Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
All right, production design, Beauty and the Beast, that was the live action one, Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Shape of Water.
I feel like if Blade Runner doesn't win for visual effects, they'll give it to it for production design. Like I feel like it's going to get one of these technical awards.
Still not
and
there
it's,
yet.
It's only going to get one.
I hate to jump ahead, but it's gonna win cinematography because Roger Deakins, who shot it, it's his 18th or 19th nomination, and he's never won.
Wow.
So the combination of Blade Runner just being like, wow, visual, wow, that movie looks so cool, and then it's, then the guy who shot it is just a beloved cinematographer
Who
who's
should
never,
he
who's
should have
never won.
He should have a half a dozen Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
he's one of the
fantastic.
best.
His mantle is empty for no reason.
Yeah, but let's go back to production design. I say, again, the production design, all of them is kind of cool. I think Darkest Hour, they had to light it a little too dark just to hide the makeup job, to make him look more natural. It's a cool looking movie, but I think Blade Runner has a very strong chance. But this is where I think Shape of Water is going to snag something because that movie. I got to see it again because there's so many things I found interesting about it, but just the just the way everything looked and it like had a color palette that you don't see, or there's very few movies these days that like kind of pick a look and go with it the whole time. And
Right.
I thought it was really that aspect of it was really beautifully realized. And also production design for period things always gets a little
Bump.
it's like, especially costumes, which we'll get to.
So you're saying should will on Shape of Water,
I
Doug?
think so, yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Production design on Dunkirk. Hey, let's shoot on this beach.
Yeah. Or in this airplane. So I think that Blade Runner should win for production design, but I think Beauty and the Beast is going to win.
Wow. Chris Mancini's fucking
telling
going
you.
off the reservation.
I'm going off the reservation, and the reason is because Beauty and the Beast has this giant old school production design.
Sure does.
That the older Academy of members are gonna just love and eat up. So it's a throwback to that old school, style building giant practical sets in a big musical.
Yeah,
so I think
that's definitely why it's there.
I think that one's gonna win.
I those are all valid reasons. For me, this is where Shape of Water starts. Their sweep starts here. Like, I think Shape of Water is going to really clean up a lot of awards, and I think it starts with this one, production design, because Dunkirk and Darkest Hour are great, but they're World War II period pieces, so you just not to downplay the job that production designers did, but it's like, okay, these are the photos of what these people actually wore. This is what, so you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of creative. Well, I mean, there's some, but there's not a lot of creative interpretation. We're not changing what the uniforms look like from World War II.
Right.
So whereas Shape of Water is that era, but it's a glamorized music, stylized,
yeah.
Right. and then the creature and the dance numbers and like it's
what would a tank holding a creature look like in the 50s?
A fictional creature.
That whole facility was
Right.
cool.
The black and white dance number. I mean, that fit within that world, even though it was a fantasy. When they're making love in the water and when the bathroom is flooded. I mean, that's all that.
Yeah, and when he goes to the car dealership and he gets the teal car or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it just looks cool all throughout.
The minute you're in that, when you're watching that movie, I felt like, wow, I'm inside this designer's head. Like
Right.
that to me is when I and Blade Runner 2049 had that for sure too, but I think this is where the Academy loves Guillermo del Toro, and they should, and this is why.
All right.
Cinematography. As aforementioned.
I'm done with this one already.
Blade
We'll
Runner,
win.
2049,
Should win. Blade Runner.
Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, and The Shape of Water.
Now, Mudbound is interesting because it was shot by a black woman.
Yes.
So that's a first in that category, first ever nominee for a black lady cinematographer.
Also a period piece.
So that's neat, but how much do people know that when they're just going down their ballots?
Right.
I agree with. I think this is when Deakins finally they give the Academy always like if someone's been nominated a bunch, they try to make good late in their careers.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not. It's
It also
also
looks-
not throwing him a bone
No,
to
it's
say
great.
that
No,
it is the
no.
it is the coolest looking movie. I mean, most,
wasn't a
most
Paul-
frames of that movie were like art.
Right. It wasn't like Paul Newman's Color of Money win, where it's like, wow, this is for other work.
And it had to be, and Blade Runner 2049
For all
had to
the
be.
presidents.
Yeah,
Men.
this is.
Blade Runner 2049 had to recapture the first Blade Runner, but also be different, and it did that too. Like it was both things at once. You know, it had the same vibe and feel, but its own visuals.
It's like it took and went well. Yeah, because the Roger Deakins went, okay, this is what 30 years in that future will look like, which is so fucking awesome to do. And which is why if it does win production design, I won't be shocked or disappointed. So, Chris, what are you?
I think Blade Runner should win, but I think Dunkirk's going to get it for cinematography. I think Will.
Chris.
But I think they're both amazing.
Well, I can see why Dunkirk could win because the aerial shots are amazing. The underwater shots are amazing. In terms of shot composition,
How each frame looks.
you were in the plane with Tom Hardy. You were
Right.
with all those.
You didn't even know it was Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
There could be a little technical category run for Dunkirk to make up for the fact that it's probably not going to win in the two big categories, and then they just don't have any action in the screenplay or acting nominations.
Costume design. Beauty and the Beast, Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, Victoria and Abdul.
I just finished Victoria and Abdul the other day, and all of these are there because they're all period pieces and they're all full of
Costumes.
costumes. But I don't even have a should win really opinion other than of all those movies I liked Shape of Water the best. So I'll say should Shape of Water, but Phantom Thread. No matter what you think about it, you can't really go, yeah, but the costumes were shit.
Yeah.
That was
Phantom Thread is
that's
literally
their thing.
Phantom Thread is literally a movie about this category.
Yeah, it was made.
So-
The movie was made to win this category,
Yes.
and bravo. You did
So what
it.
are you calling it, Doug? How you
I'm going should for Shape of Water just because I love it so, and the costumes were great. But it's going to be Phantom Thread.
Chris Mancini.
Same as Doug. I gotta go. Phantom Thread, I think, is a lock for this, just because of what it is, and should I think Shape of Water.
I'm going to go Shape of Water. Should. Beauty and the Beast will.
Ah,
Yep. I think it's going to win costume design for Chris. The reason you think it's going to win production design.
fair enough. Yeah, I can see it.
They're just going to go, oh, big crazy things.
There's a lot of very
There's
very
some gowns in
ornate
it.
costumes and and the Beast himself, his outfits are real
Beast.
real fancy. So I mean, it just seems like too much of a no-brainer for voters to be like this movie's about costumes.
I'm
it's
mad.
about dresses.
I'm being mad. I'm mad at that movie. That trailer made me. I don't want to give Phantom Thread. I just can't. I just can't acknowledge it. So I'm pissed off.
Wait,
that-
so you've
You're
never
not wrong.
you haven't seen Phantom Thread?
I saw the trailer and it offended me.
That's
Yeah.
the trailer
I took-
really
I
does
took the
do a
hit
great
for us.
job of showing how dull it's going to be for
Yes, it
for,
is.
for
It is
some
a
people.
perfect representation.
And
of
when
the
Chris
film.
came in and said, "Oh yeah, it's even duller than you would imagine," it made me angry, and I hadn't even seen the movie, so I can't give it anything.
I like to sew secrets into the garments
Oh God!
for later generations to appreciate.
there's too much movement at breakfast.
Oh God! Fuck!
Yeah, it's rough, but it's it's nothing else like it.
True.
We got what's his name? What's the guy from Radiohead that did the score? Jonny Greenwood? Is that his name? Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
sure. Captain Boring.
Yeah, they got him to come in and bang on a saw or something. He took a hammer to a saw and built nothing. All right.
Too much talking at breakfast.
I got to say, though, I did think that Leslie Manville was good. She's not going to win Best Supporting Actress, but I thought she was good at sitting around giving everybody the stink eye.
Yeah. If there was a
It was a
category
great
for stink eye
performance.
Makeup and hairstyling.
Oh, this category.
Darkest
They
hour.
always just pick 3 things.
Yeah, I don't know why this one always gets wonder.
There's not.
They only get 3 things. And last year, Suicide Squad won.
Yeah.
So it's really odd category.
I'm just
Yeah,
going. I'm
it's
going
a
should
really
will on
weird
Wonder.
random.
Wonder because the Victorian Nocturnal and Darkest Hour. I mean, Darkest Hour, yes, does a good job, but I'm gonna just give it to Wonder because I liked it.
I liked Wonder. Yeah, I just saw that the other day, and I was really impressed with. I don't think there was enough talk about how good that little kid is for having to sit that makeup. You know, you have to have that put on for hours. And then be that. Just like give such a natural performance under the circumstances. Yeah, I really love that kid. I'm glad he got out of that room, but man, his face. Yeah. he should maybe he should go back.
Yeah,
Go back to the shed, you little weirdo. But
there's too much talking at breakfast.
oh my god, I can't imagine a water bottle being on the soundtrack of a movie, but you never know with Jonny Greenwood or whatever his name is. But here's the thing: Gary Oldman's gonna win Best Actor, and so therefore it's the best makeup.
All right,
I think
you're going should will on Dark Hour.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't have a should really. I mean, Victoria and Abdul, I don't know what that's about. Like Victoria, they make her look 3 years older than Judi Dench actually is. Or something. So I don't know how that got in there, but
Maybe it was the subtlety of
yeah.
the 3-year aging.
Well, she's always going, I'm obese, and it's like, well, I don't think Judi Dench is, so they put her in some sort of thing underneath her clothes to make her look fatter, but.
They just give her a pillow when
But
she
her
gets an
face
Oscar
didn't look
nomination.
fat. Yeah. But yeah, and that makeup on Gary Oldman, it's like it's pretty flawless. It's not like you're watching Leonardo DiCaprio and J. Edgar, where it's just like so distracting. And also, I'm glad Kevin Spacey got scrubbed from All the Money in the World because his makeup would have looked like shit.
Yeah,
There's no way. He looked good in old age real in old age makeup.
Christopher Plummer
and
was the
Christopher
actual
Plummer is
age.
real age. It just shows up and does it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they didn't hire an old guy in the first place instead of fucking Kevin Spacey. But anyway, so I'm going should will on Darkest Hour.
Christopher
Yeah.
Mancini.
Same.
All right.
What'd you say? You went Wonder?
I went Wonder.
Yeah, there's a chance because it's very uplifting, that Wonder.
Yeah.
Shot first. Getting heads across the